Good morning, everyone. Well, a cold front is going to be working over us today, so there is a good chance of rain. It's just going to take a while for that good chance of rain to begin. In fact, I think the morning commute is going to be completely dry today. The earliest we'll start to see a couple of showers pop up, and I do think just a couple of showers, is going to be 11 a.m. this morning. So looking completely dry until 11 a.m. And then just a slight uptick even as we get into the early afternoon. Notice a little bit more of an 11 at 2 o'clock, but we're still just talking about isolated showers and maybe a storm or two, so most still dry. And I do think we're going to be topping out in the mid to upper 80s today, another day with above normal temperatures. There's not going to be much wind today, though. Now, if you get under a thunderstorm, of course, you could see gusts 30 to 40 miles per hour. But even as the cold front is working over us, this is a front that's going to be coming through with very little wind. I don't think there's going to be any more than 10 miles per hour, again, unless under a thunderstorm. Now, the good chance of rain is going to be during the late afternoon and early evening hours, because that's when the cold front is going to be working over us. And if I had to pinpoint the wettest period in the Quad Cities area, it's looking like about 5 o'clock this afternoon until 8 o'clock this evening. So probably the peak's going to be somewhere around 6, 7 o'clock. So certainly for the homebound commute, unlike for the morning commute, there is a chance of rain. But notice at 5 o'clock, I think the best chance will probably be in the northern part of the area, and then as we get into 8 o'clock, best chance will probably be in the southern part of the area. So that's why I think for the Quad Cities themselves, probably the best chance is going to be 6, 7 o'clock. But be aware it is possible driving home from work that you could encounter a shower or thunderstorm. Now, again, I do think heavy rain and lightning in spots as this front is working over us, roughly about 5 o'clock this afternoon to 8 o'clock this evening, but not any severe storms. But be prepared for some heavy rain and lightning. Now, by 8 o'clock, the front will be clear of us. So after 8 o'clock, the rain chance is going to be coming down. But it's not going away completely just yet. Here we are at 11 o'clock. Now, notice less showing up at 8 o'clock, but we're still talking about isolated showers, maybe a storm still around. And the reason the rain chance is going to linger is because this cold front is actually stalling out just to the south of us. So though the better chance of rain is going to be to the south of us, it's going to be close enough where we've got to keep in the chance for some isolated showers or a storm or two through the overnight hours, and yes, into tomorrow morning as well. Do have to mention for the morning commute tomorrow and even into the late morning hours, isolated showers, not much. In fact, I'm willing to say that I think we're going to miss out on these isolated showers than see them. I'm going to mention the chance through the morning hours. However, I do think by the morning hours tomorrow, the stalled out front is going to start moving again. And so by noon tomorrow, rain chance coming to an end. And notice the cloud cover breaking up as well. So starting the day mostly cloudy with some isolated showers. By noon, partly cloudy skies. But jump ahead to 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, and now we're talking about mostly sunny skies. Now, look at temperatures. Yes, low 80s, which, yes, is still above normal for this time. Your normal high temperature should be in the upper 70s. But also keep in mind, well, low 80s are cooler than mid to upper 80s. And what's going to make it feel cooler tomorrow is the humidity is going to be significantly lower. So we're talking about low 80s and low humidity and a touch more wind. A light breeze gusts around 15 miles per hour. So the combination of lower humidity and a little bit more wind is going to make it feel cooler as well. And before we wrap up, if you have any interest in weather and sports, you've got to check out the latest episode of the Across the Sky podcast. So we're talking about weather's impacts on all sports: football, baseball, golf, NASCAR, horse race. I'm pretty sure we covered all the sports. And if you have an interest in sports betting, I think we've got some tips for you. So be sure to check out the podcast below this video or wherever you get your podcasts.